Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
I wanted to go to the dictionary because I always like when people use words, like when they say I'm a cultural critic. Let's go to the dictionary and see what critique means.
Come on with it.
What is critique? Critique is a detailed analysis and assessment of something, especially a literary, philosophical, or political theory. And then it says that's the noun of critique, and the verb is evaluate, a theory or practice in a detailed and analytical way. Now, the purpose of critique is to make something better.
Right.
Oops.
Yes, sir.
Because already off the bat, most people don't fall under the definition of critics or critique. Because if you're a critic, what are you critiquing for?
Right.
What is the purpose of your critique? And this is the thing that I've like the brother from Philadelphia, Dale Jones. He always had a rest in peace. He had a great way of putting it. He said that he always offers criticism with affection, rather than criticism to break something down or break someone down.
Right.
And I've tried to do that. Like when you critique, because I'm a writer, and nothing I like better than good, honest, productive critique.
Right.
And you know that you're getting that when, if you write something and it's not good, a person can read it, know that it's not good, and then give you an alternate way to write it. That's good, positive critique. Bad critique is when somebody reads something and goes, "Oh, this sucks."
Right.
Okay,
right.
It sucks. All right, so then what can I do to fix it? Well, I don't know. You're the writer. That's not good critique. That's that doesn't fall under critique. That falls under hatred.
No doubt.
That falls under people trying to break you down. Because if I'm going to critique something and if I'm going to break something down, I'm going to offer an alternative if I see that the person is not doing it right.
Right.
So already based on what I just said, do you see a problem?
Yes, sir.
With the people that's calling themselves culture critics, the words that they use, the terminology that they use to describe not only the condition, but to describe the people.
Yes.
So what's your take on these cultural critics and the topic of the show, basically, the first half?
First off, I always be amazed at how you be coming up with these topics because they always be timely, and they are always, like, I would say, indigenous to your personality. So I could always, when I look at your topics, I always say, yep, that's a Holip topic right there. Word up. But for me, you know what I'm saying, I got excited when I first saw this. I was like, yeah, let's get into that. You know, brother, I'll say this to you in a couple of things. Culture critics. Why do people who just basically put down or slander people, black people, call themselves culture critics? I think that you're the one that helped me to understand that living in America, we really don't have a culture as a people. We have a manufactured culture that's been given to us by the made man. And so because of that, anytime that you try to criticize the culture of a people that is in captivity, then really you're starting out with two left feet because you can't not really properly criticize the people. If the goal to criticize is to help and uplift, and the people are victims of an oppressive culture to begin with, and it's not theirs, it's made up, it's given to them, and they are afflicted by it, then you really can't be honest in critique. Because it's just like me saying to you, like, let's just say, for instance, you completely copied somebody else's style of writing. And I started criticizing you, saying, brother, you could have did this, you could have that, you could have did this. Well, none of my criticism is ever going to help you because you're just biting anyway. You're just copying.
Right.
So you'd be sitting there and you'd be fake nodding like, yeah, that's good, I'm going to do that next time. But in reality, I would have to criticize the person that you're stealing from in order for it to be effective because it's not your style, it's his style. I think it's the same way when a quote-unquote so-called culture critic tries to criticize black people in America. I'm not saying that we need to be left off the hook for some of the stuff that we do. I'm not saying that we need to be excused for some of the stuff that we do, a lot of the stuff that we do. But what I am saying is that it's the manner and the tone in which you criticize that, to me, is more important than even what you say, because what I learned, speaking in front of people and speaking to people, is that your tone of voice and your disposition when you speak to people determines even if they're listening to you or not. So you can think really that you have a lot of people listening to what you're saying when you're quote-unquote culture critics, but the true reality of it is that people are just turning you off. Some people are coming because they think that you're not talking about them, so they want to hear you put somebody else down. Some people will come just for the fight. And the ones that you really need to reach are never going to listen to you because they're always going to take your disposition as well as your tone as being condescending and say, I don't want to listen to that person in the first place.
Right. Right. 100% correct. Because it's all about the spirit in which you're coming with the critique.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. Because you can get Stephen A. Smith to critique black culture.
Mm-hmm.
What spirit is it going to be coming from? You can get Charles Barkley to critique black culture. You can get Sheriff David Clark to critique. You can get Herman Cain, Ben Carson,
right,
Stacey Dash.
Right.
Everybody can can critique black culture, but what is the spirit that they come in and they approaching the culture from?